Today we will start solving exercises about chapter 12, which talks about multiplication and division of. Number 1. Find the product. Write the answer in the form of irreducible fraction. The first step is to multiply, and then if our answer is reducible, so I have to simplify it to get an irreducible fraction. Let's see the first one. 3 over 7 times 6 over 5. Since we have multiplication of a fraction, I have to multiply the numerator by each other and the denominators by each other. So 3 times 6 is 18 and 7 times 5 is 35. Okay, it's so easy. Now 3 times 1. 7 times 6. Multiply the numerators by each other and the denominators by each other. So it's 3 over 42. But how do I know that a number is a multiple of 3? The sum of its digits is a multiple of 3 or is divisible by 3. Here I have 42. 4 plus 2 is 6 and 6 is a multiple of 3. So 42 is a multiple of 3. To find an irreducible fraction, I have to divide both the numerator and denominator by the same factor, which is here 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 42 divided by 3 is 14. 1 over 14 is an irreducible fraction. We can divide anymore both the numerator and denominator by the same number. Here we have 2 over 11 times 33 over 8. We can say that 33 and 11 both are divisible by 3 and divide by 11, and divide it, then multiply the other numbers. Or simply I can say that 2 times 33 is 66 and 11 times 8 is 88. Here 66 and 88 are both divisible by 11, so the answer should be 6 over 8. But look, 6 over 8 is reducible fraction, since I can still divide 6 and 8 by 2. They are both multiples of 2. So let's divide both the numerator and denominator by 2. Our answer will be 3 over 4. Now I can say that 3 over 4 is an irreducible fraction. Now 15 over 22 times 44 over 5. As I told you, you have two methods, either to simplify then multiply, or multiply then simplify. They are both correct. 15 times 44 is how much? Since it gives me a big number, look what will I do here. 15 divided by 5 is 3 and 5 divided by 5 is 1. That's what we do here. We are simplifying, and then when we make the numbers smaller, our multiplication will be easier. 44 and 22. 44 is a multiple of 22, so when I divide 44 by 22, I will get 2. Now I can say that 3 times 2 equals to 6. And in the denominator, I have 1 times 1, which is 1. 6 over 1 is 6. Okay, it's tricky here, but you can do it. I know that. Now, 3 over 7 times 6 over 5. Multiply the numerators by each other. So 3 times 6 is 18, and 7 times 5 is 35. Now, 6 times 1 over 5 times 5 over 7. Here, if I multiply the numerator by each other and the denominator by each other, look, we have times 5 in both the numerator and denominator. So for simplicity, let's simplify before multiplying. Cross out 5 here from the numerator and the denominators. What do we still have up? 6 times 1, which is 6. And in the denominator, I have 1 times 7, which is 7. Okay, you can do the way that is easier for you. But simplifying first make the numbers easier to multiply. Here I have 5, 3 over 4, and 2 halves equal to how much? I have to write the mixed number in the form of a fraction. As we said, 5 times 4, 20, plus 3, it's 23 over 4 times 2 times 2. Here we multiply the whole by the denominator and then add the numerator. 2 times 2 plus 1 over 2. Here you can write this step or simply think about it. What do we really have to write is 4 times 5, 20, plus 3, 23 over 4. I can see it from the beginning. 5 times 4, 20, plus 3 is 23 over 4 times 2 times 2, 4, plus 1, 5 over 2. Here we have two fractions multiplied by each other. We can simplify by 5 here or by 2 from the above. So what to do? Multiply the numerators by each other. So 23 times 5 equals to 115 and 4 times 2 equals to 8. Now 1 over 3 plus 1 over 6 times 2 over 5. According to PEMDAS rules, the parenthesis here has more priority than multiplication. So, how to find a common denominator between 3 and 6? 6 is a multiple of 3. So, 3 multiplied by 2 equals 6. And since I'm multiplying the denominator, surely I have to multiply also the numerator. 1 times 2 and 3 times 2. Plus 1 over 6 and write the remaining of the expression times 2 over 5. Here, 1 times 2, it's 2 over 3 times 2, which is 6. So we have 2 over 6 plus 1 over 6 times 2 over 5. Let's solve what's inside the parentheses. Here, we have the same denominator, so we write the denominator and 2 plus 1 equal to 3. Okay, please don't be confused. When we have addition, we don't add the denominator. We just have to keep the denominator the same and add the numerators. Now 3 over 6 times 2 over 5. I can say that 3 times 2 is 6 and 6 times 5 is 30, so it's 6 over 30 and then divide by 6 to simplify it and get 1 over 5. Or from the beginning I can say that 2 and 6 are both divisible by 2, so here the number is 1 and here there's a 3. 3 over 3 is 1, so the remaining is 1 over 5. Okay, we can write them in many ways. The one that's written here is 3 times 2, 6, and 6 times 5 is 30. Divide both of them by 6, since 30 is a multiple of 6. Our answer will be 1 over 5. Okay, can you solve it here? Simplifying, then multiplication. Please check it and check if your result will be 1 over 5. As we practice better in mathematics. Now number 2. Calculate the quotients and write the answer in simplest form. 3 over 7 divided by 6 over 5. We have division, so I have to replace it by a multiplication and we write the inverse of the second fraction. So I will write 3 over 7 times 5 over 6. Since the inverse of 6 over 5 is 5 over 6. Multiply the numerators by each other, so 3 times 5, 15, and the denominators by each other, 7 times 6 is 42. Since the sum of these digits is a multiple of 3, so both of them can be divisible by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5, and 42 divided by 3 is 14. We can divide both the numerator and denominator by the same number, so I can say that it's irreducible fraction. Now, let's see the next one. 6 over 5. Divide is replaced by a multiplication sign, and we write the inverse of the second fraction, which is 7 over 3. Now, multiply the numerators by each other and the denominators by each other. 42 is 6 times 7 and 5 times 3 is 15. Divide both of them by 3. So the answer is 14 over 5. Now, 2 here is 2 over 1 for simplicity. Division is replaced by multiplication and 5 over 2 is written. We write its inverse, which is 2 over 5. Now multiply the numerators by each other. 2 times 2 is 4 and 1 times 5 is 5 and 4 over 5 is an irreducible anymore. Now 8 over 5 divided by 3. We write the first fraction as it is. Division is replaced by multiplication sign, and 3 here, it means 3 over 1. The inverse of 3 is 1 over 3. Now multiply the numerators by each other. So 8 times 1 is 8 and the denominator by each other. 5 times 3 is 15. It's so easy. Now we have parenthesis and division. According to PEMDAS rules, parenthesis has more priority. Now 1 over 3 plus 1 over 6. How? We should have the same denominator in order to add fractions. So multiply 3 and 1 by 2 in order to have the same denominator, which is 6. And division is replaced by multiplication sign, and we write the reciprocal or inverse of 2 over 5, which is 5 over 2. Now let's solve what's inside the parentheses. 1 times 2 is 2 over 3 times 2, which is 6, plus 1 over 6, and don't forget to write the remaining of the expression, which is times 5 over 2. Now let's solve here the parentheses. 2 over 6 plus 1 over 6 is 3 over 6 times 5 over 2. We multiply the numerators by each other and denominators by each other. So it's 3 times 5, 15 over 12. But look, here 15 and 12 are both multiples of 3. So to get an irreducible fraction, I have to divide them by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5 and 12 divided by 3 is 4. 5 over 4 is an irreducible fraction. Please don't forget to write the answers. Thanks for your attention.